What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of No Capes Required. I'm Scott Merida. He's Doug Gardner. Just in case you forgot, because I know we were gone last week, and yes, I know you're upset. I'm sorry, but the thing is, we're gonna make up for it.
We're back.
Yes, we're back.
We're back.
We got cool. 2 reviews as well as just an amazing episode planned for you today. So
calm down.
Yeah, calm down. Let's just get to it. So the newest superhero flick opened this weekend, and I'm talking about Hellboy. Yes, the movie opened just yesterday, and me and Doug saw it. And while we were in the theater, or after the movie, we actually caught up with a fan, a moviegoer named Rob.
Hey, Rob.
And shout out to Rob. Thanks for doing the interview. And here's what he had to say about the movie.
I thought it was fantastic. I didn't come here just to see Hellboy, I just wanted to see a movie. And when I saw Hellboy, I said, now what did they just do now? Let me go check it out.
Awesome. So what did you like about it?
Well, what I really liked about it is that they didn't match the history of the Hellboy series, bit by bit. What they did, they added a new series. I think they brought in a lot more new people there. And the CGI and the script was extremely good. There were no hesitations, it just flowed. And just the actor, what's his name?
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour. He was just very good. He was perfect. He was not a clone. I think that this movie will have another 1 or 2 more series.
So he really liked it, and he definitely had a very positive reaction.
Yeah.
It looks like he wants a sequel.
Rob wants that sequel back.
The problem is he might not get one because while Rob really liked the movie, critics did not. I'm just gonna be honest. It was a 13%.
13%.
Yes, I'm not joking. Like 13, not even 31%, not even the flip. 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But I get it.
Now, who knows? But it could still make money.
It could.
Except it's not right now. Because it was originally projected to be in the 16 to 20 million range for its first opening weekend. Right now, it's projected to be to make 12 million. Hellboy's not winning right now. Me and Doug saw it. It might not be as bad as 13%, but I do kind of disagree with Rob. I don't feel like this was a well-executed movie.
And the thing is, we love the character of Hellboy.
Oh, yes.
Hellboy is a great character, but we cannot ignore everything that this movie did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to touch on it first or me?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my first thing I noticed about this movie, it's all over the place. From the beginning, it's just jumping from one scene to another. It could be a fighting scene, like a pivotal fighting scene, right?
Yeah.
And it will jump from that to another scene that's totally calm, completely different atmosphere, and has nothing to do with the fight that just happened.
Yeah, exactly. You're really just sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm following. Well, wait, whoa.
What just happened?
Where are you going?
And they don't do that just one time. This throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. The editing in this movie, I gotta say, like, it really, they messed up on this.
They did.
Now, David Harbour does a solid job as the character.
I love the character.
But, just in terms of, it was way too fast. And it's weird because for, like, a 2-hour plus movie, it shouldn't have, like, as much as it has in it. Because you would think that with that amount of time, you'd be able to incorporate all the pivotal stuff you need.
Right.
But I feel like there were too many scenes where they just focused on blood and gore where there really didn't need to be. And I'm cool with blood and gore. I love the Wolverine. I love Logan. I love Deadpool. But the thing about those movies, those rated R movies, like the violence is actually, there's a reason for it. In Hellboy, there were some scenes where there was no reason for like blood and gore.
No purpose at all.
And it sort of took away from the plot.
Yeah.
So it seems like instead of focusing on the plot, they just decided to focus in on some of these gory scenes.
Yeah, and those scenes that Sky touched on are very wasteful. Like,
Yeah.
They added no purpose at all to the movie, and we're trying not to do any spoilers.
Yeah.
But there is a scene in the movie that they touched on that has like a moral confliction with Hellboy and the villain. Has something to do with the monsters.
Yeah.
But which you had actually told me was a great plot point in the movie, but they literally touched on it and never went back to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I will touch on this a little bit further without trying to spoil anything.
Be careful.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, one of the interesting things about Hellboy, I think, and his character is that he is a demon, you know, fighting, killing other basically demons or at least monsters. And it's weird because in a way he is killing, you know, his own kind. And they sort of touched on this movie, like, you know, one character is like, well, why are you doing that? And, you know, does it really make sense, especially considering the rest of the outside world or most human beings aren't really feeling Hellboy. They feel like he's a monster himself. So why, you know,
why should he be helping him?
Yeah, exactly. So, but they didn't touch on that enough, and that was the most interesting part of the movie.
It really was.
And it seems like they really wasted that.
Yeah.
With this, and we kind of touched on this, do we feel like this means that there's not going to be a Hellboy sequel because bad ratings, not making money?
There's a large percentage in the favor that this movie will not get a sequel. Hellboy, they really messed up with this. They came at a perfect time. I mean, superhero movies are booming right now. Superhero movies are what you need. But I feel like they rushed out a movie. It's almost like they were just rushing out, and then just like when in the editing process, they were doing rough cuts, not even cuts that really made sense, just cuts just all over the place. Just like, let's put out a movie. It's okay. It's a superhero movie. It will do well.
Yeah.
But it completely ruined it. And I think they missed a major opportunity because Hellboy is a terrific character.
No, yeah, for sure. And I think it's just missing everything that was so great about the original first two Hellboys.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't overcomplicate anything with their plot, and this movie just seems like like you said, it's going all over the place in so many different plots and different storylines. And yeah, so it was easy to follow. You know, the charisma of the characters, you really had an attachment to all of them. And I don't know, I mean, the characters in this one are like so-so. I mean, the villains I didn't really care for. I mean, the heroes are alright, but they're probably not as charismatic as, you know, the actors were in the first two Hellboys. And yeah, like I said, it's just, it's a shame because we love this character. And, but I have to say, I don't think there's going to be a sequel, just because when people aren't liking it, and I mean, the audience score is, I guess, okay right now, but the fact that it's not making a lot of money, the fact that critics aren't clamoring for this or praising this, even though the end credit scene hints at a sequel, I don't think we're getting one. So, while Hellboy isn't doing too well at the box office, Shazam is doing very well, and it's actually going to grab the #1 spot for the weekend. 2 weekends in a row now, and it's like on pace to get a total of 22.5 million and a 10-day total of 92 million. So so far doing well.
Definitely blew my expectations. I didn't see the movie. Sky did see the movie. And I don't really believe Shazam is that. I don't believe it's
even though it's 90% Rotten Tomatoes, you're not.
Shazam looked like a kid's movie. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask Sky a series of questions to investigate.
Yeah.
I'm on my Batman stuff right now, just to see how he was feeling about the movie. So,
for sure,
Sky,
I'm ready.
What are you surprised about these numbers, or did you expect it?
Going into it, I thought that Shazam, in terms of the box office numbers, I thought that it would make money because it's not competing against too much. The biggest competition it had was like Pet Sematary, and even though I know like people want to see that, it's a horror movie, and horror movies don't usually measure up to superhero movies unless you're talking about like Us or something like that. But
so
yeah,
it's kind of like the strategy of putting it in, because this is a couple weeks before Avengers comes out.
Yeah.
This is.
No, this is its time to capitalize, and it's definitely doing that.
Do you foresee a Shazam 2?
Oh, yeah, because, critics really like it so far. Like I said, 90-some% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience score is pretty good, so yeah, I expect there to be a Shazam 2.
Now, so Scott, I know what Rotten Tomatoes is saying. I know what all the audiences are saying all over the world, but I want to know your truth. What do you think of Shazam? Come on, be honest. You just have the world watching you.
Okay. Well, on this show, remember that I said that proudly that Shazam was going to be DC's second best movie by far, and it's going to be like, Spider-Man Homecoming. It's going to just be, a great film. And I really, really want to be up here to say that that is correct. But I can't. I am sorry. I really wanted this movie to be everything that I hoped for, but it just wasn't. And I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm just saying it was just okay. But for me, that's a disappointment though, because I was really expecting this movie to feel like it was a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I can't really come away from the movie saying that. And
it is DC.
Yeah, look, for me, I think that Shazam, I like the tone, and I understand that I like that they're going for a much lighter tone, and that the fact that it is comical and, it's definitely a comedy, but it's just a little bit too silly and goofy to the point of being corny. And I think this is a movie definitely geared towards kids. So I think kids will like this movie, but for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Mainly because of the acting. Outside of Zachary Levi, I like Zachary Levi in that role.
Yeah, go ahead.
But in terms of the child actors, I just wasn't feeling their performance. And look, I love the kids, and I will maybe chalk this up to maybe just we've all had performances where it just wasn't our day and everything like that. It happens to everybody. And for a lot of these kids, I feel like this was probably their first movie, first time, big time movie, in that type of role. So, yeah, so look, you're not going to always hit it out of the park. But I just wasn't really feeling them, in terms of their performances. They weren't really, they didn't engage my interest enough. And in terms of just the emotion, there are like a couple emotional scenes in this movie where, as like an actor, I feel like you really need to go all in, and they were just kind of coming up short on those emotional scenes. So I just wasn't really a big fan of the acting in this movie outside of Zachary Levi, and I feel like because of that, it detracted from the movie's value, because when you're going for very goofy and silly, I think good acting is very key.
Very key.
So Disney revealed some new info this week about their upcoming streaming service, Disney Plus, which is scheduled to release November 12th this year. And it's funny because with the Disney Plus announcement, Netflix's market value apparently dropped $8 billion. Yes, that's a real stat.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time? I have trouble hearing nonsense.
8 billion.
8 billion?
Yes.
What? Do y'all see what's going on? Do you see the Disney takeover that's happening right now?
I think it's already happened, but it's happening more. It's
But Netflix, y'all need to, they're coming for you, bro. They're aiming for headshots.
Disney has no chill. It's already taken over, because we already had talked about a few weeks ago the Fox murder, that they own Fox.
Own Fox.
They got ESPN. They got
Disney Plus. Yeah. Trying to get their own Netflix going.
Yeah, Disney's gonna take over. If it already hasn't taken over the world, it's going to.
But wait, please tell them the news. Tell them what they're adding.
So what they revealed this week is upcoming shows. So one of them we kind of already knew about, which was Scarlet Witch and Vision are getting their own show. I think it's mainly Scarlet Witch's show, but Vision's in it.
Okay.
And then The Falcon and Winter Soldier are also getting a show. And lastly, Loki, is getting his own show. And in case you're wondering, they are all being portrayed by the same actors that portray these characters in the MCU.
Which is insane, because the only time I remember where an MCU character translated to a TV show was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, with Nick Coulson.
So like this getting the portrayals that they have in the actual MCU is a very, very power move by Disney.
Yeah, no, I mean they are just killing the game.
I'm definitely checking it out.
So I guess from your reaction, you don't feel like these 3 shows coming out the gate is too much.
No, this is fine. This is perfect. Like you want the hype basically going in. This hype is definitely on your side with these. Cause like think about it. Scarlet Witch and Vision are already like people's favorites. They love that connection that they have. They love it, especially from Avengers Infinity War. Falcon and Winter Soldier, for the guys at least, I'm interested just to see Winter Soldier in action. Falcon too, I like Falcon. But Winter Soldier, like, I'm really like trying to see what's going on.
I think what's going to be most fun about that show is that it seems like they don't like each other, and that was very apparent in Civil War.
Which is great.
Yeah, I know, it's going to be hilarious. Yeah. So them having a show together is going to be awesome. It almost sounds like that upcoming Fast and Furious movie, like Hobbs and Shaw. They kind of have that type of relationship. So it'll be action-packed, but they'll also be like talking trash to one another, which is great.
Which is cool.
Scarlet Witch and Vision, like you sort of said, they had I think what we'll see, and I can't confirm this whether this will happen or not, but I'm thinking that we'll see how they ended up so romantically involved, because we saw little glimpses in Civil War, but not to the point where we saw it in Infinity War, where they were really like a couple.
Yeah.
So I think it'll probably take place sometime between Civil War and Infinity War, and we'll see where their relationship grows. That's what I'm guessing.
Which is all good. Like, all of this is great just for superhero movies and TV shows in general. Very bad for Netflix.
And now it's time for one of our favorite segments, Twitter Question of the Week. And let's revisit last week's Twitter Question of the Week. And by the way, if you're wondering who this is my dog Woofer, and he will be very key to our next segment. You'll see. But yeah, just revisiting last week's Twitter Question of the Week, which was, in recognition of the new #Joker movie trailer, which was awesome, by the way. We couldn't talk about it last week, but it's awesome. Go check it out. Which portrayal of the Clown Prince of Crime is the best so far? So the 4 choices were Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, and Jared Leto. And with 53% of the votes, the winner was Heath Ledger. Not too much surprise there. I mean, it was just...
He killed it. Like, he's literally the Joker. That movie was a perfect representation of Joker in its entirety.
Yeah, look, and I like Mark Hamill, Jack Nicholson, not so much Jared Leto, but out of all these Jokers, I mean, Heath's the best. I mean, he literally got an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
So, enough said about that, right?
Yeah, rest in peace, Heath.
Oh, yeah, for sure, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But now, let's go on to this week's Twitter Question of the Week, which definitely sort of, Woofer here will like. And looks like he's trying to leave. Which was, in honor of National Pet Day, which was earlier this week, which of these awesome super pets would you most want to adopt? And the choices are Crypto, Goose, Ace the Bat-Hound, and Lockheed. So, who are you going with there, Doug?
You know what? I gotta go with Ace. I with Ace. I have to. Because 1, Batman's my favorite superhero.
For sure.
And 2, Ace is he's just so cool. Ace is like a
awesome,
Wattweiler.
Man.
I love Wattweilers, first of all. So Ace just reminds me of just a Wattweiler, and it perfectly blends with Batman's just whole persona.
No, definitely. And I think, Wolf says that, he would definitely choose either between him, Ace, and Crypto. In some ways, Ace, I think, he's black in Batman Beyond, might be brown in some other versions. So, I don't know, he says it's between those two. And I think I'm agree with my dog here just because clearly I'm a dog person.
Right.
I have a feeling like Goose is going to win just because of the success of Captain Marvel. But in terms of my personal choice, In some ways, I want to say Crypto just because I could literally do so much with a superpowered dog.
That's a lot you could do.
But the problem is, there'd be so much responsibility. I already know what the responsibilities are of an actual dog right here. And with a super dog, I mean, if I what if he sees a squirrel and literally chases? Yeah, I literally can't take it because he's that strong.
Or he's lifting you with him.
Yeah, or if he sees a bird in the air, he's gonna chase after that, fly, and I'm gonna be gone.
It's over.
So I would probably choose Ace just because he's easier to handle.
True.
But Crypto would be my second choice. But let us know what you think.
Please.
Go vote at 0 Capes Required. And this is going to conclude the show. Again, follow at 0 Capes Required. Also follow at Fly to the Sky 11. But that's going to do it for this show. For me, for Doug, for our special guest, Woofer, look at the camera. Close enough. We will see you later.